It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the sales cardiologist, and we help you make more sales with less effort. And I am so excited about the conversation that we're about to talk about, because I'm going to answer the question, Shay, how do I stop hiring the wrong salesperson? Shay, how do I make sure I hire the right person and not the wrong person? And that's where we're at today. That's what we're talking about, how to recruit. You're ready to build your 7-figure sales team, and you do understand that hiring a sales superstar is the most important part. So you cannot hire the wrong person. Well, I guess you could hire the wrong person, but you want to avoid that. You want to avoid the expense. You want to avoid the time. You want to avoid the frustration. And you're like, what are just maybe 1, 2, 3, just some golden nuggets that you can use? Shay, what are the best practices? And you might be wondering that. Like, Shay, like really, what are the best practices in my industry right now that can help me? What are you seeing out there? You're the sales cardiologist. You're talking to managers, business owners, consultants. You're talking to folks every single day who have to make these decisions, and I want to avoid them. I mean, I really do. And I'm going to help you avoid those today. And so today, the topic this morning, this afternoon, whatever time it is for you, our topic is going to be how to recruit, how to stop from hiring the wrong salesperson. Jot that down in your notes. How to stop from hiring the wrong salesperson. Because what I'm noticing out there today is there are a number of folks that they have the best intentions. They really do. And one of the biggest mistakes that I'm seeing out there today is that sometimes folks, they're interviewing and they're meeting, they're having conversations, they're talking to people, they're going back and forth, and they get frustrated because one person has 1, 2, and 3 good characteristics. Someone else has a totally different 1, 2, or 3 characteristics. They like to take the 2 and bring them together. The budget doesn't say that. It doesn't allow for that, even when they're working on commission, because even if they could bring 2, 3, and 4, 5 people in and they worked on 100% commission, the time that it takes to train them, the effort that it takes, is just not worth it. And that might be you out there right now. You might be stuck, and you might be asking yourself, Shay, how do I stop from hiring the wrong salesperson? Now, I want you to keep in mind that anyone, this is a philosophy, this is a belief, this is a distinction. I'm going to keep sharing this, that anyone can become a sales millionaire and make as much money as they want. Isn't that encouraging? That anyone can become a sales millionaire. A sales millionaire is someone in the top 1% in the sales professional. They earn over $500,000 in commissions on a yearly basis. You want to give yourself a raise right now, don't you? Go ahead and give yourself a raise. Seriously. Go ahead right now. Just give yourself a raise, because it's time for you to earn what you know that you believe. So here's something that I want you to put down in your notes. When hiring a new salesperson, one of the biggest mistakes that I see a manager can make is just settling. They settle on the person because they either run out of time, they get frustrated, they're tired of looking, and they just settle and say, you know what, I can make this person work. I can train them. I can teach them. And the way that I know that to be the case is when they start saying, if. I was having a conversation some time ago, and the person kept saying, if I can get them to believe, if I can shift their mindset, if they'll just trust what I'm saying and do what I'm suggesting, Shay, it's going to work out. And as they were talking to me, I was thinking, that's a whole lot of ifs. If this happens, if that happens, that's like too much. I'm like, that's like, first of all, they're already working way too hard. They're over and beyond where they should be working at that very moment. And that's not going to be you. So I want you to step back, and I want you to think right now, how can I avoid these mistakes? What are some things that I can do right now? Let me give you a couple points. Let me give you a couple points that you can do. And I want you to jot these, I want you to jot these 3 things down in your notes. I think I just lost there we go. Okay, there we go. I hit the wrong button. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, let me see. Can you show it to him now? Let's see. Can you show it to him now? Let's see. There we go. Hit the wrong button. Don't know why that's not showing up there. That's a good thing here. Sometimes it works when it works, ladies and gentlemen. And when it doesn't, there's a problem. So let me see. You may not be able to see it. I'm going to take a second here. And if not, no worries. Uh-oh. Maybe this is going dead. Okay, that's working. Okay, that's good. There we go. Let me just check something. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to make a real change. We're like real time here, by the way. If you want to know what we're doing, we're like real time going in and we're fixing. Sometimes this happens. So that you can see what's going on. There we go. Good, good, good. That looks good. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. We're not gonna panic. How to stop from making sure technology doesn't work. Woohoo! It's okay, it's okay. If I can show it to you, I am. And if I'm not, don't worry. Let me just make sure that we have a connection, which we do. That's very important. Okay, let me grab this over here. Let me make sure, see if I can make that work. Yahoo! Woo! Go ahead, Shay. You made it work. See, sometimes things don't go as planned. And just like when you're trying to hire someone, it just doesn't work out. But if that's ever been you, and you're like, you know what, Shay? You got to keep on going anyway. If that's you, just go hit the button below. Hit the button below and just type in keep on going no matter what. Keep on going no matter what. Okay. So the one idea that I want you to take away from this was working a second ago. Now I don't see it working. That's okay. We're going to bring it back to me here. Is do this now. Do this now. You have to take with a grain of salt their resume. Jot that down in your notes. Where's my notes right here? Grain of salt, the resume, and the interview. Now, I'm not saying toss it out the window, but just kind of understand, if you can, for a moment, that sometimes the interview, they're bringing their best. Sometimes they're doing everything they can. There we go. Sometimes they're doing everything they can when they come up to be the best that they can be. And we have to take it with a grain of salt. Remember, when your candidate shows up, they're there to market themselves. And one of the things that Higherology, if you haven't looked them up, look up Higherology. One of the things they say is you got to look out for those who embellish their resumes, those who are trying to hide their weaknesses. Keep in mind that a resume only highlights the person's achievement. It never reveals where they fall short. So dig a little deeper. Look past the managers they work with. Go back and ask questions about how they dealt with a situation. And some of you probably saying, hey, Shay, I never heard of that. But no problem. Higherology. They've done the research. I've looked at the case studies. And it's not that the person's not being truthful. I mean, obviously, this is a part of the process because you have to talk to them. But take it with a grain of salt. Rely more on your intuition. Rely more on the questions that you are going to ask. So I'm going to start off with the big one. Do this now. Listen to Higherology. They're the experts. Take the interview with a grain of salt. Ask deeper level questions. Ask probing questions. Ask how they handle situations. Ask the big why, if you will. Because when you bring on the wrong person, it costs time and it costs money. And I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want that to be you. Like just now, right, by the way, the system went down. I think I stayed connected. Heck, I don't know if you can even hear me. If you can hear me, just type right below or hit like or heart or something and say, I can hear you, Shay, because if not, it's just you and I, and we're all here. And hey, I don't want you to miss this. We're here now. How to recruit, building your 7-figure sales team. Stop from hiring the wrong salesperson. Now, I want you to avoid 3 things if I can. I want you to avoid 3 things. First thing to avoid is rushing. I'm not doing that. It's just like, it's become my little thing to do, by the way. But take your time. avoid rushing. Avoid rushing. Sometimes you gotta slow down to speed up. Sometimes you gotta slow down to what? I you know it's to speed up. And I know it's a high pressure situation. And I know that one of the best sales folks that you have may have just left. Been there, done that. The top salesperson leaves. 2 or 3 of your sales folks just missed their quota. And hitting their quota is important to you. And now you found yourself in a situation where your top performer leaves. You find yourself in a situation where someone else is not hitting their quota. So you feel rushed to get to the place that you want to. But if you don't take your time, you do what I talked about earlier. You'll settle. And that's not what I want you to do. I want you to I want you to stop hiring the wrong person by just taking your time, slowing down, and asking the right questions. And just at the end of the day, be patient. If there's one thing I could ask you to do, it would be just to be patient. And you can do that. See, you can do that. You really don't have to rush. Here's another I want to show. Number 2. Missed. Know what you want. So when you go into the interview, and I know this is going to sound like, for some of you, you're just tuning me out. You only need to hear number 2. But others of you do. Do we want someone seasoned? Do we want a beginner? Do we want someone who has the experience in the industry? Do we want someone who is willing to train, but they must have the 8 characteristics? If you missed that episode, go back to the episode, hit the subscribe button so I can get that to you, please, so I can get that to you. But as you step back and you're thinking through it, know what you want. What's the number 1 characteristic? If you would ask me right now, Shay, of the 8 characteristics, I would say it depends. It depends on what position we're looking to fill. It depends on who just left. It depends on who's not hitting quota. It depends, but one of the characteristics is they must have the passion and they must be willing to learn our products and services at a much deeper level. If they do those 2 things, and I say passion because that's going to help them come from a place of service. If they do that, then we've got a good chance. But sometimes there's some very specific characteristics. I'm looking for someone who's good on the phone. I'm looking for someone who has better writing skills. Not so much like they've got to be a creative writer, but they've got to be able to communicate, because some of what we do is through social media. We do social selling. We do communicating through text messages, through tweet messages. So they've got to at least be able to communicate in a cryptic, yet a position of clarity. So know what you want. And then the third one, did I put that up there? Let's see, I put that up. This is a bonus one. Let me make sure I show it to you, just so you can have it for your notes. Know what you want. And I just said this a second ago. And it's not because I was giving you a sneak preview, but because it's so true. It's a bonus, but I have it down here. Hire for passion. That's right. Hire for passion. Make sure they have a passion for what it is they're going to be doing. You don't want someone just saying, well, let me just hang in here for a little bit. I'm trying to pick up a couple extra dollars. I just want to hang out. No. You want someone that's passionate. They want to serve. They want to help. They want to make sure whatever problem that your company solves, they're going to go out there and they're going to solve it as well. Hire for passion. Martin Seika says, passion never sleeps. Vicky Kirk May says, passion without walls is what we all need in our life. And both are so true and so right. So here we are today. We're here talking about how to recruit, stop from hiring the wrong salesperson. That's our mission. That's what the deal. That's what we're looking to do, even in this present moment. And, you know, I love analogies. I love sports. I love sports analogies. And one of the ones that I love is I was reading, they talk about some of the biggest draft busts of all time. These are players who got drafted that just didn't work out. And there was a guy by the name of Sam Bowie. Now, Sam Bowie, to put things in perspective, he was drafted ahead of Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, and John Stockton. 3 Hall of Famers. Now, this guy had missed 2 full seasons at Kentucky because he had an injury. Yeah, he was 7-1, so you're thinking what could go wrong? everything. Sam Bowie was only able to play in like 139 games in 5 years with Portland. Now, think about that. 139 games in 5 years. In the NBA, they play at least 82 games a season. And it was just a bust. So what does that say, Shay? What's the point? What's the connection? You want to stop from hiring the wrong person? Portland went out and picked what they thought was the #1 draft pick in all their research, passed up 3 Hall of Famers. One, none other than the Michael Jordan. Boy, think that person regrets that decision? Oh yeah, oh yeah. But the point I want to make is that when you follow this, take your time, when you know what you want, when you hire for passion, and when you take the resume and interview as a grain of salt, then that puts you in such a much better position. You won't make that decision. So there's a couple things that you can do. There's a couple things you can do to take action right now to really help you. Let me share 2 of them if I can. Number 1 is you can screen applicants through a 10-minute phone interview. And sometimes you can ask the most powerful questions. It can save you a whole lot of time in the wrong hires. Let me say that again. Save you a whole lot of time in hiring the wrong people. And number 2, which is so important, if they're on the fence and you're not sure, and you're thinking to yourself, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it or should I not do it? Kick it over to your team. Let someone else weigh in. Trevor and I will do that sometimes. Sometimes he may interview someone and like them, but he may be on the fence. And sometimes if we're on the fence, then we don't make the decision. But other times he'll come to me or I'll go to him and I'll say, hey, take a look. Let me know what you think. Because we don't know it all. We're all human beings. We're subject to make mistakes. We're subject to errors. It can happen to all of us. So if you're on the fence, have the team or have someone else weigh in. It'll save you so much time, so much energy. I promise you. So that's the big takeaway. Hiring sales superstars is the most profitable, the most important driver in building your 7-figure team. Anyone can become a sales millionaire and make as much money as they want. We're talking about how to recruit. We're talking about how to stop from hiring the wrong salesperson. See, that is something that you can do. So what do I want you to walk away with? What's the takeaway during this episode? Go ahead. Let me go ahead and show it to you until you have it right there for your notes. The big takeaway is hire someone with a sense of purpose who makes customers understand how the product you're selling will enrich their lives. I'll say it again. Hire someone with a sense of purpose who makes customers understand how the product you're selling will enrich their lives. There's that word again. There's that word service. Come from a place of service. Selling is about service. Selling is about service. Selling at the end of the day is really, at the end of the day, it's all about service. And you can serve. And you can achieve. Look, you are such an incredible person. You're amazing. You're different. You're unique. You want to do good. You have a big heart. And I know that you can build your 7-figure sales team. I know with 100% certainty, there's not a doubt in my mind, no matter where you are in your business, whether you're doing very, very well or you're having some lows right now, I want you to know that the best is yet to come and that I believe in you. Even if you don't believe in yourself, tell yourself that Shay Brown holds the belief for you because I'm going to believe in you until you get there. So with that being said, do 3 things, if you will. Number 1, be humble. Always be willing to serve. Put the ego to the side and help others. Number 2, stay hungry. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep teaching. Keep making a difference. And number 3, always be hustling. Do your best every single day. Make today better than yesterday. If you do that, my promise to you is that the next 30 days will be your best 30 days ever. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown, the sales cardiologist. Make it a great day, everyone. And we're going to make good things happen. We connect again next time. I'll see you soon.